Hey, what's happening, you guys? This is the Proclivity Podcast. You are joined by two of the greatest coaches on the planet. Kidding, but not kidding. I am your host, Joel Cochran. I'm here with my incredible co-host, Emily Rodella. Emily, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. We on Tuesdays we do runs and we mix it up today. We had a little mini hill sprints and what do you call those plyometrics?
Yeah, some plyometrics. We were doing some like high jump switch lunges.
Yeah, my hips are already feeling it.
Hips are feeling it, like glutes. It doesn't take much when you're doing some explosive plyometrics.
No.
Emily only fell on her butt 3 times, 2 times?
Twice.
Okay, twice.
The grass was wet.
The grass is wet. How many times did I fall down?
Doesn't matter.
We like to have fun, you guys. Fun is part of the game here. And today, we're going to have some fun. We have a special guest today. She graduated from the Proclivity Method. And let me tell you, there's a reason she's on here, because she absolutely annihilated it, didn't she?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's freaking incredible. She's a superstar, top of the top school teacher, teaches the 4th grade, does all kinds of extra curricular activities, helps out her community, is a love to every person she meets. And you get the opportunity to meet her today. So without further ado, let's get into this Proclivity testimonial, shall we?
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
All right. Let's invite onto the show, Allie. Hello, Allie.
Hello.
Let me ask you, when's the last time you did plyometrics?
Gosh. Maybe I would say probably like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
yes.
I was working on it.
Let me tell you.
Good for you.
Yeah, let me tell you a little something about Allie. Allie's as consistent as it gets when it comes to exercise. And we've been working together for, Allie, like 6 months, 7 months now?
Yes.
It's been
a while.
Yeah. Yeah. And we made a big transition from like big loaded days to smaller loaded days, more specific, more tangible, more easy, more simple, not necessarily easy. And how's that gone for you?
It's amazing. I've never felt better.
Gosh. There it is, you guys. You guys think that we're just throwing around that 30-day dumbbell program? That's how Allie started. She was like, "Oh, I'll try that." And now you just heard it from the horse's mouth, or unicorn, or whatever mouth you want it to be, Allie. It can be that, but I can tell you it's I can tell you it's magical. I can tell you it's magical.
It
Allie,
really is.
What's the best part of it?
I mean, it's doable. There's no stress that comes with it. It's not overwhelming. I mean, I don't think I've been able to, I've always done like 2-hour workouts or been doing double days just to feel like I got what I needed.
Right.
And in 30 minutes or less, I get that. And I'm happier, I'm less stressed, less overwhelmed, less inflamed in my body.
Yes.
It's amazing.
And that's one of the things we talk about in the Proclivity Method, is being able to create that structure by being able to decrease the amount of stress and increase the amount of time that you can be in that rest or digest for your gut health, for your body, for your mental health. Before coming into the Proclivity Method, did you feel like you didn't have a lot of time? There was a lot of stress, or feeling like there was a lot on your plate?
Absolutely. I felt like I maybe had 1 hour to myself in my day, and it wasn't even working out. Working out was almost like a job. And I would get stressed about when I was going to fit the workout in. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I'd feel like I would overdo it so much that I did have bad gut health. And now I don't have those issues anymore, which has been quite a relief.
Isn't that nice when your gut does what it's supposed to do and it's all healthy and you feel good and that helps with your mental status and stress. Is your stress lower now?
100%. I think I was at a 10 entering the Proclivity Method, and now I would say I'm more at a 3 or a 2.
Wow. And you're not alone. A lot of people who start the Proclivity Method are really nervous, right? Because they're like, oh my gosh, I barely am like keeping my head above water right now. I don't know if I can take on this whole 12-week program, and they're thinking about the different programs they've done in the past or exercise regimens or diets. And there's like just too much. Let me ask you, was the Proclivity Method too much?
No, it's very sustainable and it made my life easier and better versus other programs that I think I caused a lot of the stress, but I was trying to follow the program and I just felt super overwhelmed. But with Proclivity, as I went through it, I felt less overwhelmed and more in control of everything going on in my life. It was a beautiful moment.
Beautiful moment for sure. More controlled, more calm, more focus. Isn't that a beautiful thing to have, particularly when you're coming from being at level 10, feeling like you have to do more to get more? And yet we went, simple and easy are not the same thing. And it doesn't have to be so overwhelming. And I'm glad that it wasn't so overwhelming for you.
Me too.
Me three. When it came to the Proclivity Method, in comparison to the different programs you may have done in the past, what was the big difference between the different fitness regimens or diets or anything else that you've done in the past? What was the big separator for you?
I would say, well, there was the language and then there was the nutrition piece of it with the physical element as well. But I feel like you tied it in so nicely. They all went together. But I would also say that it was the language piece for me that was huge. And the way I talked to myself and the way I learned how to talk to myself and look at different situations, that helped make everything else, my nutrition and my physical activities, so much easier. So for me, it was the language piece, but also, I think also I'm going to add on to that.
Please do.
And being knowledgeable about my nutrition. So when I was making my nutrition decisions, I was more educated. So it was, if I was making a decision, I knew exactly what I was doing, whether it was going to be my stomach was going to hurt the next day or I was going to feel better.
Mm-hmm. You understood the consequences.
Yes.
Either way. Yeah.
And speaking about the nutrition piece and part, in a lot of different nutrition programs, there's a set regimen, right? You eat X amount of macros, right? It's not uncommon for when people come to the Proclivity Method and they go, okay, cool. So what's the diet? Okay, tell me what to eat. Okay, what's the meal plan? You just need to tell me what to do. And we go, doesn't work that way. Because if we tell you what to do and we hold your hand the entire time, and then we're gone, what's going to happen? You're going to fall off that bike. You're going to trip on your face. So how was it? Was it different rolling into the Proclivity Method with us being like, cool, Allie, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about your feelings and how it feels within your body and the base stuff. What's your protein like? Hey, I don't know. You want to do keto? Okay, cool. Right? You want to do Mediterranean? All right, whatever. Follow these base habits. How was that for you?
I love the flexibility of it and being educated on how much protein do I need to have in a day and then having options from there. I think what stressed me out in the past with other programs is that it's like, you have to eat this day, or you need all of these ingredients. And it was just easy for me to know the basics and go from there. And so there's a lot of flexibility. And then also we talked a lot about, like, when you say like, you can't have this, then it's almost like you want it more. Like, don't press the red button. Right. Then everyone wants to press the red button. So I just feel that it provided me flexibility, and I didn't feel restrained at all. I felt more educated and open, and like I was making the decisions.
And how did that change your day to day?
Less stress. I've always dealt with anxiety in my life, and this is the first time in a really long time that I feel in control, and my stress is down quite a bit. So I think my day to day, everything was just easier. It was more simple. And like you guys say, simple and easy are not the same thing, but I think the flexibility within the nutrition, the physical activity, was definitely making my life way more simple than I was making it.
I mean, you said you went from a 10 to a 3. I mean, people would pay lots and lots of monies to go from a 10 to a 3. And like you said,
yes,
we're simple and easy. We've repped that out probably 6 times now on this podcast, you guys. And that's for a reason. Because the diet industry wants to confuse the heck out of you. Because if you're confused, you're going to go back to X diet, or I need to get back on track with my diet. What the heck is that supposed to mean? Your diet is your diet. Whatever you're eating right now, that's your diet. Getting back on track is saying that you're off track or you're doing something wrong. Then we have the guilt and the shame and the conflict, so on and so forth. Did you in the past have conflict with yourself when it came to diet, when it came to fitness, when it came to getting things done, right? Was there any personal conflict that you had? And is that something that you still have, if you still do have it?
I would say I'm a perfectionist. And so within my physical activities, eating, anything I do in my life, I want to do it well. And that is great. But sometimes I struggled to find the balance, and I was over exercising, working out 2 to 3 hours a day, and then wasn't eating enough and thinking I was doing the right thing, but actually I was just depleting my body of so many nutrients. And then I think that just created more stress in my life because my body wasn't being taken care of. And so then on a personal level, I think I was just struggling and feeling like I was not enough. And after going through the program and working on those things and finding balance, I know that I am enough.
Did you guys just hear that? Holy rock that freaking stuff out of the park. Okay. Big applaud to you, Allie, for saying that. That takes freaking guts and strength and confidence to say that, because there's about 100 million people out there. That's not an exact number, but hey, we're going to throw it out there anyways, who struggle to say, I'm enough. And that gave me chills. Coach Emily, with what Allie just said, does that make a lot of sense in terms of her exercise, her eating, the stress on the body, and so on and so forth?
Oh yeah, as you said, and this is something I'm curious to hear from you, Allie. Did you even recognize you had all of this? I know you recognized you had stress built up, right? That's why you came to us, a big part of it. But did you realize the gut issues, right? Now that they're gone, looking back, were there things that you didn't even recognize because there was so much in your, what we call your stress cup?
Oh, I did not recognize so many factors and just thought, this is how I have to live. Like, this is what I just have to deal with. And really, all of those are gone. now. And I'm like, wow, I wish I knew this 10 years ago.
Yeah, I talk about it a lot with people when, you discover a new normal and you think that's just how you live. That's how you feel. Oh yeah, I get bloated daily after I eat. That's normal. Normal for you, but that's not, it's common. It's not a normal thing to be feeling. And it could be bloating. It could be diarrhea. It could be constipation. It could be XYZ, whatever symptom. Yet when you start feeling better, you're like, oh my gosh, like this is what good feels like or great feels like, right? And so it's actually part of my coaching practice is when people start feeling better, I'm like, okay, remember this is where you were. That's not normal, right? Because we tend to forget, we start feeling so great. And so it's funny for me to think about and to hear you say that, because I experience the same thing. And with lots of our clients is, that's not normal. Now, you know what it feels like to feel great. And man, it's a whole new world, I'd imagine, for you as well.
Oh, yes. So it's a beautiful new world.
Oh, I love that.
So much relief.
So much relief. And I don't know, Allie, did you hear our, before you joined, did you hear our tagline, right? Creating healthier bodies and happier lives.
Yes.
Is that true in your life now?
It really is. And if I'm being honest, I've tried a lot of different things to, create that happy life for myself. And I am a really happy person, but I would say the Proclivity Method has finally, after 10 years of working on myself and trying to figure out different things, after 10 years, I went through this 12-week program and it changed everything for me. And I'm just so grateful.
Oh. Thank you so much, Allie, for saying that.
Thank you, Allie. It means a lot to us, guys, that we have these moments. We have these moments with Allie and so many of our graduates from the Proclivity Method. Emily and I care deeply, deeply for the people who come into the Proclivity Method. There's a reason that we have small classes and graduating classes, because we want to go as in depth as we can. And Allie, did you feel that this was a very personalized program for you, even though it was in a group setting?
Yes, 100%. I felt super supported individually, but also I think going through this with a group of people and knowing that you're not alone in some of your thoughts and your feelings and some of your struggles made it 10 times more helpful for me.
It can be really scary at first when you're sitting there, and the stuff that we get into, as you know, we're in a group setting, and we're talking about some different language techniques that brings up some different feelings and emotions. Yet, like you said, you get to the point of, wait a second, I'm not alone. There's other people that are at 10 level stress. There's other people who think about themselves like that struggle with inner dialogue or that self-critic or self-doubt. How much relief was that, just knowing you weren't alone?
Oh, I mean, on a level of like 0 to 10, it was like 10 relief. Like, so I guess I've always known I'm not alone, but then other people are probably going through the same thing as you, but to hear it and see those people and make relationships with them was a really powerful moment.
And it's so beautiful. Golly, is this the best day ever?
It is.
It really is. It really is. So, Allie, I can guarantee right now there's someone listening to you, right? They looked in, they're like, oh man, I wonder what this Allie girl has to say. They're really curious, right? They're stress level 10. They're barely head over water. What would you say to them if they're on the fence when it comes to investing into the Proclivity Method? Because as you know, it's a big investment of your time, investment of your finances. What would you say to them?
I would say that you should do it. It's a no-brainer. And you know, it's a very sustainable program and it makes your life easier. Whereas other programs I've done have made it more stressful, but this just made everything more simple. I mean, in my mind, that's a no-brainer.
That's
Why
what
wouldn't I do
say.
that?
Yes. When I'm on call, I'm just like, there, people will be talking to me. I'm like, this is a no-brainer. Like, you're literally drowning, and I'm the lifeguard with the life raft, and I'm sticking my hand out. And there's some people like, nope, rather drown and die. I'm just
or
like,
it's not the right time, right? Or I have too much going on right now.
yeah, it's not the right time when you're drowning until you're dead. Anyways, we're not getting into that right now. This is about Allie and how fantastic she is. Coach Emily, do you have any questions for Allie?
You mentioned it a little bit before, and I was going to ask you what was your favorite part of the program, or something you didn't expect? And I know you touched on the language part, right? Was there anything specific to that really either surprised you, or you're gonna, this is a tool you're going to take with you for the rest of your life? Anything that was shocking to you or a surprise?
I would say that my favorite part was the language. Yet I learned, or I should say, and I learned so much about my childhood and how the experiences of my childhood affected me as an adult. And writing out those stories with Joel was super emotional and really challenging. But I was finally able to let some of those experiences that were so negative in impacting me moving forward, I was allowed to let them go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, when I experienced some of those, as a teacher, we see a lot. So now I've learned to take that tool and journal about some of those hard experiences I do experience with my kiddos. And I'm able to let it go and move on, which is very nice.
Right. Because you came in, sorry, Joel, you came in with that being one of your main goals, right? Is to figure out a way to manage that stress with your job as a teacher, right? With the hard situations. And so it sounds like that has been a huge relief as well.
It has. That was a tool that I know people always say, journal your thoughts, and I've always respected that. But I think being guided through the process was super powerful, and knowing how to fix the language piece of it and come out with different mantras and things to talk about and come out with a more positive outlook was really powerful to me. And then, like I said about the nutrition, I think just being more educated on nutrition and things like I just didn't know. And now I feel like when I make a nutritional decision, I know exactly the outcome or what's going to happen. So,
which brings a lot of peace.
What I would say. Brings a lot of peace.
Yeah, right? Because you're like, oh, okay, I got it. Simple. Either I make the decision or I don't. If I do, I'm not going to beat myself up, right? I'm going to accept that decision. And if not, right, I know exactly the results I'm getting.
Yes.
How much lighter did you feel, going back to the stories, of being able to change that identity in that story, right? Because we didn't change the past. The past stayed the same. But we had changed your identity within that story. How much lighter did you feel, and what was that change like for you?
I would say I felt 100 times lighter, and I was able to move on and forgive myself or the other people involved in it. I was able to finally forgive and move past it. And I just, I get to move forward. It's a clean slate. It's a new identity, which is lovely.
Lovely. You guys, we talk about it hey, we have this past identity, it's bogging us down, right? How is this going to, help me lose weight or have more energy or until we let it go. And like you heard, Allie, all of a sudden I felt 100 times lighter. All of a sudden my diet changed. All of a sudden my stress release. When you're lowering your stress, when you've relieved yourself of that past identity in which you thought it was just, that's the way it is, right? That's how I saw the story. That's how you saw the story then. But that doesn't mean that is the truth of the story. And when we can change the identity of us in that story to something that is actually empowering, strong, and freeing, now how much easier is it to be able to work on your nutrition? How much easier is it to be able to do a 30-minute workout and be able to let the other hour and a half that we used to do go and see incredible results from it? Allie, you are a freaking superstar because, as we always say, you stepped into it. You made the decision. You went through the story. You applied the nutritional and digestive habits. And now you are enough. And that's not us saying it. The most important part is you saying it.
Yes. And I truly feel that way. I truly feel that way.
I believe it. I believe it. Emily, do you believe it?
Yeah. I've known Allie for a while. So it makes my heart so happy. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Allie, we really appreciate you coming on to the Proclivity podcast. Your testimony is guaranteed to change someone's life because you're going to say something. We know how important words are. And your words and being open and honest and transparent with us is going to change the heart of somebody to be able to have the boldness and courage to step into the Proclivity Method and to change their lives just like you did. So I want to commend you for coming on to the Proclivity podcast. It's always kind of a scary thing, right? I just soft talk like crazy. Nice. It can be a scary thing. And you were incredible in terms of sharing your story with us, and we thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to say? I mean, this is your time.
Well, obviously, thank you so much. You guys have made such a positive impact on my life, and I'm just forever grateful and teaching me those steps and tools that are, impacting my life in such a positive way. But also, not but yet, also, I think, I would pay all the money in the world to go through this program. I would. I mean, I'm just so glad I did, but knowing what I know now, even I would pay more money. Knowing what I know now and feeling the way I do, it's just so worth it.
There's no price on peace of mind, right?
Yep.
And that's why literally Emily and I love what we do so much. We've gone through it ourselves. We continue to work on it ourselves, and to be able to share the good news with everyone is something we love. So we receive that. Emily?
Yeah, I wish I could give you a hug.
Real virtual hug right now. So great. Well, Allie, thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining on today's podcast, episode 84, Proclivity Testimonial. We're so happy to be able to spend time with you guys. And if you heard something today from Allie that made you go, I want to get into this, go to www.proclivity.co. We got videos in there. We got testimonials in there. You can check it out. We want you to feel comfortable, yet we will tell you right now, as you heard from Allie, if you're in that place of a 10 where you're barely keeping your head above water, it's going to be a hard push over the edge. And we're here to encourage you. We're not here to hard sell you. We're here to be able to go. you can get the changes that Allie got and more. And so if you guys are interested, we would love to be able to talk to you. Complimentary 45-minute clarity call where we'll talk about all kinds of nutrition, language stuff, and help you right out the gate. We're here to be able to help. Coach Emily?
That's it. Thank you so much, Allie. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you both as well.
Of course. All right, guys, that's it. Wrapping it up. Episode 84. Come back next week. We're going to be getting into episode 85. And until then, Emily?
Best day ever.
Best day ever. Let's roll.